State of the economy and finances, there's never been a more important time for parents to teach their children to be financially savvy. Starting off with the very, very basics of saving. We're joined this morning by financial guru and banker at Nedbank, Mr. Tawanda Chatikobo. Always good to have you, sir. You well?
Good to see you. Fantastic. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. So what's the current situation we're looking at now when we're looking at kids and how financially wise they are?
No, that's a great question, and something we always try and encourage is have our kids start saving as soon as possible. It's not about saving, it's about learning to be a responsible financial citizen, and that's not an easy thing to do. We need to start from age 0, right through the way through to grow up, from infants through to being kids to being teens, because the sooner you start to learn how to manage your money, the better it is for you when you grow up and you're a financial citizen.
And right now, we're looking at a stage where financial, or saving rather, in the country is pretty low.
Very low savings rates in South Africa right now, and it's a national agenda. The government does talk about it quite a bit. The Minister of Finance is passionate about that subject. And one of the key tools that we can use to address that is teach our kids to save a lot earlier and to be more financially literate a lot earlier, and they can actually understand the benefit of saving. So what you don't want is a country full of borrowers. You want a country full of savers.
Of savers.
Yeah.
When we say teaching kids early, how early are we talking here?
Day zero.
Day zero. How on earth would a parent on day zero start doing that?
I'll tell you now, there's quite a few really good resources online that parents can use. For example, there's a site that I like called firstkidsbanking.com, okay? And it allows parents to teach their kids how to get the savings message out there to their children. They need to know how to save correctly, how to spend correctly, and also give back to the communities, because an important part of being a responsible financial citizen is doing good for those around you. So how do you do that in a way that's responsible?
And so these tools and applications, are they available for each age group, kind of going up from day 0 till the day when your child is able to have...
That's it. And that's the nice thing about these tools, because they realize there's a massive need out there to get the message out there. So the message you give somebody who's 16 is very different to somebody you give who's 5 years old. And maybe in preschool. So you'll find that when you look at some of these online resources, they're very well split between a message for your infants, which is say up to maybe 3 years old, a message for your kids, which is maybe 3, say maybe to about 10 years old, your pre-teens, your tweens, and then right through to your teens, and then your matrics, 16 and 18 years old.
Now, you mentioned the one application or the internet website. What else is available out there?
Okay, there are several ones. So you can look at firstkidsbanking.com, and then there's also another site that I like called bankingforkids.com as well. So have a chance. If you do have a chance, take a look at them.
So now I was asking, taking my own background into account, where I grew up, let's say Ekasi, and we didn't have access to, let's say, the internet or to smartphones. How would a parent in that kind of situation teach their child to become financially wise?
That's a great question. So there's a program right now, for example, that's run through the Banking Association of South Africa called Teach Children to Save South Africa. Okay, so what they do is that they get bankers from all the different banks in South Africa, and they go to individual schools and teach these kids about saving correctly, about spending correctly, about wants and needs. Because something we found is that there's a difference between a want and a need. Okay, so if I want a pair of shoes, it's not I need a pair of shoes. So if
although very, very difficult to kind of separate at times,
especially for the ladies out there. There's a difference now between wanting and needing a pair of shoes. I know my girlfriend's going to kill me when I get home. But that's how you then get that message to say, the things that are important to you, the things that you need, you save towards. The wants, put them off. Are they that important to you?
Wow. Okay, so at the end of the day, once we've achieved this, let's say we do have a nation of savers rather than spenders and borrowers, what would be the end result of it then? I'll
tell you right now, I'll put some mathematics there for you quickly. The average rate of household debt to income right now is 74.4%. Okay?
Wow, okay.
That means people are over-indebted as it is compared to the income that they have. 74%. You want to have that as close to 0 as possible. We're closer to 100. Okay? So once you have a nation of savers, not borrowers, the number will naturally come down in itself.
Wow. Okay, and that's obviously where you get to the point where you're not just focusing on one day, let's say, being rich, but you're building wealth, right?
You're building wealth for yourself, and then you can pass that on to your children eventually, and their children and their children.
Dude, digging it very, very much. Well, I hope the parents will take your advice at home. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again next time.
I appreciate it.
Lovely. Now, for more information, of course, you can check out our website, expressoshow.com. Stay right where you are.